So you're in a year 3. This is such a fun, lucky year. This is a year all about creativity. It's about a joyful expansion in your life. And it's truly about self-expression. If you think of the number 3, it is almost like 2 horseshoes stacked on one another. It is the energy of luck. It's sort of what I call your yes year. Every year activates a new personal year cycle in numerology. It's a divine reset that really shapes your next year. In this 9-part series, we're going to be understanding what your personal year cycle is bringing forward for you and what your personal frequency will be this year. So let's dive into your personal year and really understand what your higher self is guiding you into. Hi guys, my name is Heather Ness. I'm an intuitive and a numerologist, and this channel is all about understanding yourself in the deepest way possible, which allows you to understand the world around you in a very deep way. If you're interested in things like numerology, astrology, human design, intuition, Akashic records, all of these amazing magical things, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. It's going to allow you to be notified next time I upload a video. It's also going to help support me in building a collective of people that really want to understand themselves on the deepest way possible. And if that is you, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. If you're enjoying this video, please hit a thumbs up on the video. And share it with someone that you feel should know what the next year's frequency is for them. I can't wait to go into this numerology, personal years. I will tell you, when I realized my personal year and what it was almost 3 years ago, it was absolutely crazy how accurate it is on understanding the frequency and energy that you're going to be having that year that you're either looking at or currently in. And if you go back historically and look, it is like eerily accurate. It's quite amazing that our soul chooses this kind of stuff. So now let's dive into what your personal year is. So you're in a year 3. This is such a fun, lucky year. This is a year all about creativity. It's about a joyful expansion in your life. And it's truly about self-expression. If you think of the number 3, it is almost like 2 horseshoes stacked on one another. It is the energy of luck. It's sort of what I call your yes year. So what are some of the core themes that you'll find in a personal year 3? First one, and it's really the biggest one, is that it's asking you to dive into creativity, all forms of creativity, your artistic side, your expressive side. It's really asking you to really open up and be your most authentic creative self. You just came off of a year 2, which is really focused on partnerships and relationships and how we relate to the other person. And a personal year 3 is, how do I relate to myself? How do I become the most authentic version of myself? This is a year that really asks you to be authentically you in the most happy, joyful way possible. It's asking you to express yourself in the most authentic, joyful way. It is, we call it sort of like a yes year, because it is a year that will bring a lot of fun and joyful opportunities your way. And many times they're a bit unexpected. And so this is a year that asks you to get out of your comfort zone and out of your little box and really jump into what makes you happy. And say yes to the things that come your way that are a little bit more like out of the expected. Something that sort of pops up out of the blue, because this is a year that will definitely bring you some really fun experiences. It's also a year that really asks you to dive into playfulness. Kind of like why this year will bring you joyful experiences. It's because it's a year that you're supposed to take yourself a little bit more lightly. It's not like a serious year. It's a year of playfulness. It's a year of fun. It's a year of creativity and expression. And so it really asks you to look at your life and say, what part of my life is no longer joyful for me? And how can you revamp that part of your life to make it more pleasurable, more fun, more expansive, more exciting? Because this is a year that you're really meant to have this joyful energy that kind of radiates from within out in everything that you do. The 3 energy is also very expressive, with its creativity. And when I talk about creativity, it absolutely could be like painting, but more than likely it has something to do with your voice. It has something to do with you stepping up into kind of like the limelight, or stepping up into being visible. This is a year that it's really asking you to find your authentic voice and express it in a way that feels really aligned to what you're looking to achieve. And when you step into visibility, do it in a way that feels fun. Do it in a way that doesn't feel like work. This isn't a year where you're supposed to step into visibility in a way that feels forced or obligatory. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I might have just made up a word, but you guys understand what I mean. This is a year that you step into visibility, but from a very joyful, excited, fun energy. Whether that's short little clips on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, or a longer type of content, you really are meant to be using your voice in a very creative, joyful way. And it's a year that brings a lot of luck. When you step into your authenticity, when you step into your creative joy, when you really look to seek for something that really brings you joy, happiness, and pleasure, that energy really attracts what you're looking to manifest. It's like a magnet for everything that you want to achieve in your life. Because we came off of a year 1, which is very action-oriented, focused, very driven energy. And then we rolled into a year 2, which is really about deep connections, connection with my intuition, trusting myself, trusting divine timing, and also encouraging me to develop one-on-one relationships and really cultivate those relationships. This third year, a year 3, really asks you to cultivate the relationship with yourself. If you think of the number 3, it also has a very angelic sort of divine vibe with it, right? It is, if you take, 1 and 2 and you add them together, it equals the 3. It is like the masculine and the feminine. Masculine being the 1 energy, 2 being the feminine energy. And when you bring those 2 together, it creates the 3, right? Which is like the combination of the 2. A number 3, or the year 3 energy, is very very easily able to create. It's like the creation energy of source. It is a manifestation energy. It is an energy that truly allows you to create anything that you want, and it will attract it to you as long as you're coming at it from an energy of expansion, of joy, of happiness, of pleasure, of fulfilling my deepest desires. And when you have that sort of joyful energy, it truly becomes a magnet for what you're wanting to create in your life, which is so beautiful. As you begin to really step into your creativity and your joy, you will have creative breakthroughs this year. If you felt blocked in certain areas of your life, or certain ideas or certain manifestations, this is a year where you find creative solutions. You find workarounds. They come to you because you are open to receiving these new ideas, because you're open to just really being your authentic self in a very fun and expressive way. It is a year that asks you to really work on your personal projects, your passion projects, anything that is really something that you love to do. This is a year that asks you to really dive into those different projects or ideas or things that really just bring you joy. And when you do, you're going to find that you have a lot of momentum in those creative endeavors. You're going to find that a lot of momentum is built through this joyful expression, energy, movement towards the thing that really brings me happiness. The more fun you have, the more confidence you're going to have. It's really this fun thing where the more you begin to have fun with what you're doing and this thing that brings you joy, the more confidence you're actually going to begin to develop in this new thing that you're having so much fun with. And in your voice and in your expression and in your expansion, there's just so much confidence that's built over this year if you allow it to happen. So again, quickly, some of the light or the exciting things that are going to happen in year 3 is you're going to have incredible creative breakthroughs. You're going to have the opportunity to have really joyful opportunities just come your way. Remember, this is your yes year. So when things come your way in a way that was unexpected, unplanned, the key is to say yes to these things, to give it a shot, to go for it. Because through these new experiences really begins to expand your experience or your ability to find happiness and joy. The universe is really going to align fun, exciting opportunities for you. And your job is to say yes to them, even when you're not expecting them. Because when you do say yes to these things, it is going to help you build a level of self-trust and confidence. Because when you try these new things, experience these new things, go out and meet new people because you were invited to some kind of function, this brings you the opportunity to not only trust yourself and your intuition and your inner guidance, but it also allows you to build a level of self-belief. And that is really important in a year 3 because a year 3 is about personal expansion. It's about personal authenticity. It's about personal creativity. And you can't have all that stuff if you continue to stay in the box that you've been in. You need to really expand your view of what is possible. And this happens by saying yes to these unexpected things. Some of the shadow that you can experience in year 3 is that you can feel a bit scattered with your energy because a 3 energy is very creative. It's sort of untamed. It's meant to be joyous and fun. It can be a bit scattered, especially if you have a little bit more of a structured core to who you are, right? In numerology, we have life paths and destiny paths, and these are kind of personality numbers that really make up the core of who we are. And if we're a bit more of a structured sort of foundation of who we are, this sort of energetic, sort of creative, always out to try something new energy can feel a bit scattered. It can feel a bit unorganized. But the whole point of this energy is that it's meant to feel a bit unorganized, right? It's meant to come out of the blue and be exciting and fun. So it does definitely push you out of your comfort zone if you have a little more structure in your numbers. But keep in mind that we want to have fun. We want to be saying yes to new opportunities. We want to be very authentic and open to creativity, expansion, new ideas. But we also don't want to do it in a way that's reckless or could be something that could hurt us long term. So obviously use your discernment, use your own judgment, and know that a little bit of chaos is good as long as it's within reason. The second shadow of a 3 energy is sometimes overcommitting. Because you are excited, you want to try new things, you have this creative spark that's bubbling within you. You kind of want to try a bunch, but part of that is overcommitting to things that you can't really complete or do. So always remember to use your personal judgment, use your inner guidance, use your inner voice, and ask yourself, is this a year, even though it's my yes year, it doesn't mean I have to say yes to everything. It means I have to say yes to things that are going to expand me in the most authentic, fun way that really aligns with my vision and my soul. So even though it is a year that brings you lots of opportunities, make sure that you use your discernment to find the right ones for you. The third one I want to talk about, the third shadow that sometimes shows up in a year 3, is you doubting your voice, especially if you haven't really lived into your authentic voice, if you tend to lean on the side of people pleasing or making sure everyone else is happy before you really look at yourself. This can be a year that really pushes you out of your comfort zone and asks you to step into belief and confidence in yourself. But in doing that, it's not uncommon that you have a bit of self-doubt or self-sabotaging, or ask yourself, am I good enough? Are people going to enjoy my voice? Do I even have the right to talk about what I want to talk about? Because it's new to me. All of these little voices, all these little negative thoughts that sometimes we have been programmed to believe about ourselves will begin to bubble. Because when you step into more of your soul's purpose, your most authentic version of who you are, the shadow will sometimes sneak up and surprise you. But the key is is that when you find that the shadow sort of pops up and you're like, begin to self-doubt or procrastinate on something you know you want to do, or self-sabotage a bit, the key is you want to sit with that energy and acknowledge it and let yourself know that it's okay to feel this way and still be courageous and push through, because you are meant to find your most authentic voice in a year 3. As you begin to move through your year 3, I want you to keep in mind these 3 quick reminders. The first one is your voice is your superpower, and make sure you use it. It is the thing that you're meant to really cultivate this year, is your authentic voice, your opinions, your ideas, your creative expression is meant to really come through this year. And no matter what, find a way to use your voice, whether it's speaking to your crowd like I am right now on YouTube, whether it's speaking in front of a group at work. In some way, shape, or form, you are meant to use your voice, and make sure you do. The second reminder is to remember that joy brings you exactly where you're meant to be. This is a year that asks you to really lean into joy, lean into fun, lean into happiness, and know that when you're having fun, when you're just letting loose and just being yourself, this isn't a waste of time. This is exactly what you're meant to do, because through joy, through happiness is where a truly abundant life is born. This energy of happy, joy, expecting good things to happen is what really begins to magnetize good things your way. So remember, joy brings you exactly where you're meant to go. And the third reminder is you don't need to be perfect and you don't need to have perfection. You just need to have momentum. I think this is so important, especially when you're new at or beginning to really look into your most creative, joyful expression of who you are, is knowing that any movement is good movement. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the way you see other people do it. It doesn't have to be perfectly orchestrated or polished. It just needs to be. Your creative expression just needs to happen, because through this movement becomes something really beautiful and something that is more polished. But it won't get to that point unless you begin to move. So this is a year of creative momentum. It doesn't have to be perfect momentum. We're not asking for precise momentum. We're asking for a little bit of that joyful, fun, creative momentum. And if you follow your joy in a year 3, you'll be so rewarded. Well, hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to your personal year 3. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Really helps support my channel, and it allows the algorithm on YouTube to know that this was something you enjoyed and pushes it out to more people. Also, just a quick reminder, I have opened up my schedule for what I call Divine Numbers Numerology readings. And this is a combination of your numerology and Akashic Records messages from your soul. And I combine it in a 45-minute reading where you can really have guidance in the direction of where your soul is asking you to go. If you click down below, I also have a link to my personal year planners. It is a 60-page, month-by-month planner that helps you manifest your dreams in the personal year. It also allows you to really harness and cultivate the energy of the year that you happen to be going through. And I just want to send you a ton of love. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.